Namaskar to all. Today I will share few insights on the subject of the inner working of humming and chanting, that is to say Naadbhrama meditation and Om Naad meditation. This part 2 is intended for those seekers who have practiced these meditations regularly for a long period continuously, maybe of 3 weeks or 3 months or even more. Obviously, what is said in part 1 is of interest to them, but this one is said for them as something of little more depth. In the beginning, you are advised to sit with straight spine, irrespective of whether you sit in Padmasana, that is to say lotus posture, or Sukhasana, that is to say crossed leg posture, or in the chair, so long as you sit keeping both the hands in your lap with your hand touching hand, you become as good as the energy pool. Because if one hand releases energy, it moves into another hand. And similarly, foot touching foot. So if one foot releases energy, it moves into another foot. These are the 4 main pointed ends from where the energy moves out or flows out. But when they are touching one another, energy stands channelized. Alternatively, if you keep your both palms in Gyan Mudra, resting on your knees or close to knees on thigh, then also your energy will get channelized, because in Gyan Mudra of your palms, you keep your index finger continuously touching to thumb, and that channelize energy from hands. With either of the posture of your palm, whether in the lap or in Gyan Mudra, you would have benefits of energy channelization. In fact, when you sit for the first step in lotus position or in cross-legged position, you virtually become a live pyramid with your head as vertex and your lower limb as base. By very shape of your body posture, humming or Om chanting reverberates, and that energy being emitted by reverberation is getting channelized in whole of pyramidal posture. It is like you have become like a bell-shaped vessel which is full of ripples of humming or Om chanting. These ripples or vibrations you can physically also feel like vibrating bell-shaped vessel. This is the pool of energy you are going to release in the first part of second step and would find it recollected back in the second part of second step as well as in the third step. During this first step, There will be moments when your mind falls back to its subconscious level or unconscious level. The humming or Om Naad has intrinsic tendency to get you submerged in the Nisarg, the nature. Suddenly, you may come across different sort of memory, and it is so strong as if you are reliving it. It's okay to have such diversion. It will relieve you from your past suppressions or repressions. You would be out of your mental block and psychological bondage. One of the functions of humming or Om chanting being passive catharsis would be over. This could be noticed by temporary halt in humming or Om chanting. However, as soon as you notice the same, bring back your awareness to humming or Om chanting and come back to present moment of humming or Om chanting. During the later part of the first step, you transit from being doer of humming or Om chanting to more and more being a listener. Initially, you are more of an active doer and passive listener, whereas in the later part, you become passive doer and active listener. Humming or Omnad moves seeker from doing to non-doing, where one becomes naturally aware of oneself, witnessing self. This transition would get you a deep attunement with humming or Om chanting and moves your more and more energy towards fourth chakra and the fourth body we will discuss a bit later. In the second step, you are told to feel energy. In fact, as you practice this meditation again and again, you would start feeling the energy being emitted and received from each pore of almost whole of the surface of your body. In the second step, there would be occasions when hand movement is almost or actually stopped, when you are engrossed with energy filling, or sometimes your conscious mind dives deep in unconscious mind and deep memory surfaces, or sometimes you may fall deep in dream or vision. Whatever it is, come back to here and now of present stage of energy filling and slow hand movement. You may have seen blooming lotus bud which has not bloomed fully, but only the outer layer of flower leaves are bloomed and tilted to horizon, and rest of the most of the flower leaves are yet intact with the bud yet to bloom. Exactly, you pass through such experience wherein you feel full of energy within your body and energy layers all around going out, coming in. At the center, you feel an energy field felt by one who is beyond the dimensions of energy. It is like soundful sounds pervading all around, But at the core center, you are as a witness which is beyond any sound. It is absolute soundlessness. In the third step, you have the option to continue sitting silently or lay down on your back. Either way is fine. If you continue sitting silently in lotus posture or cross-leg posture with both hands in your lap, you may feel like pool of energy as it was in the first step. If you lie down, you may keep your both hands in Gyan Mudra as it would help you to keep aware and awake till you listen the sound of three gongs in the end. At the end of the second step, all music is stopped and you are left to void of outer music. By this time, you must have started listening inner humming, music or naad. While listening to any of these, your energy may keep its movement in the inner bodies from centers below the navel to the centers above the navel. It may activate your inner touch senses, inner ears, and inner eyes, and you may perceive energy movement within body, inner humming, music or naad, inner space. At times, the only inner humming or the only inner space or the only inner touch perception becomes all inclusive, and in such a moment your focus may move from things being perceived to one who is perceiver. Who is this listener? Who is this person seeing inner space? This is wonderful experience. It is double-arrowed awareness, object and subject. It is moving closer to our Turiya state. So just be there. When bee is with honey, it enjoys honey. As I said, at other places, such meditations cultivates and develops our awareness to much deeper layer of our being and position oneself as a watcher on the hill, the drashta. As it is with other experiments of meditations, such meditations are oriented towards witnessing self for what the Upanishad says, the Turiya state of consciousness. Such meditations are to reveal our true nature, what Zen masters say, our original face. That is to say, awakening to our essence, our face that exists before birth and that will remain intact after death too. As name Naadbhrama suggests, it is accessing the Brahma, your universal being, your original face through Naad, humming. After the meditation is over, if you could sleep, it is also of great help. You may try Naadbhrama meditation or Om Naad meditation and see it for yourself, how it could change your life. You may give it adequate time to practice on daily basis for some period of at least 3 weeks or of 3 months. If found suitable for you, they are such potent experiments that you may continue them for longer period till they reach the deep layers of your being, the witnessing self. Thank you so much for the listening.